Hello everyone, I just want to make sure that this is definitely working because it's just spacing out on my laptop, which I'm very worried about. Why is it so blurry? 1 second. My video was very blurry. Give me 1 moment, sorry. I'm just making sure.
And watch, man.
Yeah, but is it very blurry?
It just disappeared on my phone.
Yes, it is. It's very blurry.
Yes.
I have no idea if it has or has not.
Or something, so it looks like it's all paused.
No, I'm still not going well. Okay. Is it?
Yeah, there's a bone.
Okay, as long as it's not like blurry.
It's all good.
Let's hope so. Because my StreamYard on my computer has completely phased out. Ooh, okay. Hello everyone. Sorry about that. Hopefully everything's going okay. Right, we're going to do a canvas tonight. Let's get started, shall we? So we've got one of the small Mark 20 by 20 centimeter or 7.9 by 7.9 inch canvases that we're going to use tonight. So this is our canvas, and I kind of have a bit of a plan. A fair bit of a plan, but my plan was that I was going to fussy cut these before class, so you guys didn't have to watch that part. But that did not come to fruition. So let me just 1 second, sorry people. And I'm just trying to. The back end is not going extremely well tonight. See if that works a bit better.
Christy's watching.
There we go.
Christy.
Hello, Christy. Sorry about that. Yeah, okay. That looks a bit better. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Could you con Amelia into cutting some more parts for me while we do our background and chipboard?
Roger. Give us your scissors.
I love you, dearly. You have to get the black and yellow ones from Mum's desk, okay? Hello, everyone. Okay, so I'm just palming off the fussy cutting bit element of this class.
Neil, you want an ice block?
We have Happy Land.
Yep, you're fussy cut. Time for some other ice block.
We have some Happy Land love hearts because I'm gonna make like a little bit of like a mandala type effect on the canvas. But before we start, I want to come in and I just want to make this a little bit of blue. I'm going to stick to blues and yellows. It's a nice color scheme. And let's see. So let's just grab out a few sponges because I want a bit more of a sponge effect. The blending brushes are quite cool. It gives a rounded effect, but I do want a bit of a sponge effect.
Which ones do you want?
Blue and yellow, please. The blue and yellow ones. So let's just come in. Just being a bit worried because I know this black lifts and this green in here lifts. So I'm choosing where I put my blue and white down. So I'm going to make my background blue. Oh, I've already got blue down. And then.
Wait a minute, I didn't get to say that.
And then.
Oh, fussy cut.
There we go. Go on that one. Right, so let's come in. But yeah, I'm just going to use some makeup sponges. I like the sets where I get like a few different ones in, just because they're really good at blending. These would probably be my favorites, or the puffy ones that people use for their actual foundation. But yeah, so we're just going to come in because I want kind of a bit of a sponge effect, and it's a bit different. So with the sponge effect, you get, I'll just come in and gradient it out how I want it, because it is going to dry quite quickly, because sponges and blending brushes do spread the paint quite thinly when you work it. So let me just come in and do this bit, and then I'll show you what I mean by the blending brush is slightly different. So let me just turn my phone on silent also so you don't get... Oh, hello, Marissa. So that is the sponge effect. It's very cloudy-like. And then we get the blending brush. And as you can see, the blending brush doesn't have so much texture. It lets the canvas texture come out a bit more. But I kind of want... I don't really want this smoothness that the blending brush gives me tonight. I kind of want this cloudiness behind. So we're going to go with the sponges. But it's up to you which effect you want. It's always good to keep both as your option. I'm just going to set that blending brush in there for a moment to soak too. Just so then the paint doesn't get stuck in the bristles or destroy the blending brush, because I forget to clean it. So I'm just going to let it soak for a few minutes while I do this bit. And I've got a few different blues. I got this metallic turquoise color out as well. Once again, we're just using the Mont paints as always, just because they are fantabulous and just excellent. You can do so much with them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come in on top of this real quick and blend. Out. I just keep adding white when I think I've gone a little bit too dark. Just because I do want my mandalas to stand out a little bit. Oh, hello, Heather. So just coming in. Giving it a good amount of texture. I'm actually starting off with the white in the corner here. Just coming in. And then we're just going to add a bit of that darker blue in a few spots. So let's just grab this dark blue colour. making sure that we get all the edges. I am the worst person ever for, like, I am prone to forget my edges constantly. A lot of my artwork sometimes have black or solid colored edges, and that's because I have forgotten to do the edges and I can't remember how I did the layers on top. So yeah, it's the quick oh my gosh, there's edges to this canvas type scenario. So we're just going to remember to do those tonight. It's good. I know. So there is our background. I'm very happy with that. That is our sponged on blue background. So there's multiple blues in there. Oh, hello, Karen. Oh, grandparent weekend, is it? Weekend with the grandies. Okay, so there we go. So there is our thing. And that's nearly dry. Like, I can nearly rub my hands on top of that one. Oh, hello, Diana. So that's our background. And then let's come in and do our chipboard. So with the sponges, so then you don't like destroy them after every use, what you can actually come and do is just have the blending brush. Just, we're going to let that soak in there for the rest of the class. And then at the end of the class, what I'm going to come and do is I'll come in and I'll go and basically squeeze all the paint out of it in the sink in the bathroom, and then get a bit of detergent and wash that through it. And then once again, give it a good rinse. Then I might give it a good rinse again, a good squeeze tomorrow morning as well, before it's fully dry. And then your sponge is basically back to brand new. Like, all good. So what I want now is I want a thin layer of white before I come in and I put on my blue on my title. And then I'm thinking that I might give a few of these, because I'm also going to use yellow tonight as well. I'm trying to, my mom's challenged me to use only 2 colors, yellow and white, yellow and blue, a bit of white. So I might also paint a few of the flowers yellow, so like they're accented. So let me just come in. I need the, I think, the broad white pen first to give them a bit of a backing, a bit of foundation. Don't get paint on the love hearts. Amelia's done her first delivery. Yay! So let's get this pen. Now these broad white pens, we do have them on order. They are coming. They should be here next week. I'm kind of glad they weren't here today for stock take. All we have left is the paper left to count. So it does mean we have to count every single sheet of all the paper we have. It's interesting, but everything else is done. So big tasks today. Mammoth effort, but we got it all done. So we'll see how we go. But yes, the pens will be arriving next week, just in time for the Rocky Pop-Up and for everyone's orders. And we also have our kids' classes happening next week as well. Everything's happening. And then we're going to Japan. I'm very excited, but also slightly stressed. It's my first time going overseas. So let's just come in and keep coloring. These ones. So just getting a bit of a white layer down on our chipboard. Oh, hello, Tina. So let's just come in. Coloring. Okay. There we go. And because tonight is kind of all about the texture, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab Stuff Glue on the gesso brush, and I'm actually, hold up first, before we get too far, just so we don't give it on every single flower around it, which I want to paint yellow. Let's come in and cut these ones out. The reason why we have so many divots on it is so then it gets to you guys really nice and safely, and so then it doesn't get damaged at all in the packaging or manufacture processes. So let's just come in. I'm just getting a bit of a streaky type texture. There we go. So then that's our blooming beautiful there. But when we test is how it looks on there, and that looks fantastic. It stands out. Beautiful. That's what we want. Okay. Let's clean out that paintbrush in the water. I think I might have my camera setting on a bit too low. Anyway, well, a bit of a moment. I did set up my frame really quick tonight, so it might be a bit too low, but we'll see how we go. So that's the blooming beautiful one, and then let's come in and make these ones here yellow. And thinking kind of how I'm going to do them is I'm going to chunky brush them on with the yellow, just nice and simple. I might use it with a bit of white, so I'll put it in the same thing as the white, but I'll try to make sure I don't mix all the white. So just by putting a bit of the yellow and a bit of the white, by twisting have the paintbrush around when coming in and dabbing it up and down. So there we go. And there's our flowers, and they also stand out beautifully. On the background, right. So it's all coming together. And let's get out the glue in a minute. The glue in a minute. So let's come in here. And just keep coming around. Oh, thank you, Mealy. Then let's just unless I add that one in there. And this one here like so. Maybe. And then those ones there. And then we just need, I think, a couple more fussy cuts from the Fussy Cut Queens. What do you think? Oh, hello, Di. I'm playing there, I'm guessing. So we've got all of those. Okay. So let's just get the glue. Is there any more hearts coming or no? Okay, I'm just checking. We gave our hearts to Mum to cut because she is so much faster than what I am. So let's just come in and we'll start gluing these bits down. So actually what I think I might do, because our background is now fully dry, let's just come in and massage a thin layer of the glue down. Thin layer of the glue. Then I was about to lift it up, but then I realized I'd have my other mandalas falling off. So just putting a bit of glue and then slide it on there. There's that one. And then there we go. And then there we go. Now if we come in, and let's just pull off these ones. So just putting down a bit of glue first. We're making a sandwich, obviously, so massaging down a thin layer. You definitely want to make sure your paint is dry, but the way we applied it means that it dries pretty quickly, even in cold weather. And then we want to put a bit of glue. I'm using gel medium matte too. I don't want a gloss finish on this. And I don't put the layer of sealing glue on top until I have all my hearts down on my mandalas. So I can make sure that I like where they're positioned. As I just don't want to go on and stick them down and then not be able to move them. And I just have a bit of slip and slide with this type of glue, so definitely want it to be a bit more there of that heart and a bit more there. There and there. A bit further up. There's that one. And then making sure that we got a bit of glue down there, and then just There we go. And then let's come and do this blue one down here. Oh, all the family's here. Oh, good. Focus find out. Okay. Yeah, we are having a few camera problems, so just let me know along the way. I am, the first few minutes of class was about the first 10 minutes of class. It's just me trying to play around, trying to get the internet to play the game. But we're now all good, hopefully. But yeah, just let me know. See how we go. Oh dear. Where did that black come from? Ah! See, I need to give my palette a really good clean out. Because there's just a bit of ink in my palette that's currently... It picks up when anything wet's in there. It's the acrylic inks. If you don't get them fully out, they just do reactivate once wet, like glue or wet paint interacts with it again. So it makes it very interesting on an honest level, but because I don't really use a clean palette, so you know, always fun there. There's lots of fun. So let's just come in with that one. I think that one was there. Yeah, looks about right.
Want any more, Nano?
After that batch, I might be pretty good actually.
Okay.
Thank you. Excellent. That's the colours I need.
No more, Mum.
I'll be all good, thank you. Thank you to Mum for doing our fussy cutting. Okay, so then we just come in. Stack it on. There we go. My glue's already starting to dry. Just lovely. And then there's that one. And then, oh, I know. Let's use... I know I haven't sealed that batch yet. I'm coming to seal them. It's always important to remember the sealing layer. It just kind of helps you make sure there's no air bubbles. Means that everything sticks. It's very helpful. Don't want anything not to stick. Okay. Maybe not. Nope. No, I'm quite happy with that. Okay, let's come and seal this. And then we'll get going on our title and our flowers. So, let's just come in. Give it a good rub down. There we go. Just a little bit of a rub. Okay, and then what we want is, where's the other gesso brush of ours? There's the other one. These come in packs, which is excellent. You get like this one, and I think one in between the sides. This is 3 pieces. Just fantastic. Okay, so let's grab a bit of the light blue and turquoise. Just come in. And give it a bit of a ink along the edges type style. It's going all in one direction. And then what we want to do sponge is soaking really well in there, which is fantastic. Okay. Then let's grab out our white and a bit of our sponge. Of course, I got a bit of yellow there. That's okay. We can fix that problem. Bit more white down. Flip the sponge over to the side that doesn't have any white on it. And just sponge it out a little bit. This is where our little title I think is going to go, so it'll be quite nice. Let's just keep dabbing it up and down. Putting it along the edge there. Okay, and then let's just snip. There we go. So we're just coming along, giving it all a fairly good around. There we are. Looks pretty good. Okay, and then we might just move it a bit closer now. There you guys go. Bit easy for you to see everything now, which is quite nice. And we'll turn on this. There we go. Oh, okay. Light's dead. Oopsies, 1 second. We can fix this while we're live. This is quite simple. Would be with a long enough cord. Yeah, no, that's not going to be able to be fixed during class. Sorry. Right, let's get going on this one. Okay. So we've got our flowers. Just so you can see it. So let's just cut our flowers and we'll get it close enough. Once we have all of it there. Okay. Next thing we kind of want. So what I'm actually going to come and do is put a blue center in all of my flowers. So I'm just going to grab the end of this paintbrush and the dark blue. And just oh shoot. that one off. I still got a bit of glue on my fingers, so it's like the flowers are sticking a little bit to my fingers. It's okay. We'll clean that one up in a second that we got blue on the petal of. Sit that one upside down in this, and it can just bit of a moment. Okay. Let me call that one a write-off. I need to let it dry and then fix it. Okay, so now we've got that one, and these. Right, so let's just come in. And I actually think we need to do, before we stick it down, is grab this yellow, which is very similar to the yellow that we're using on our flowers. And I also think we need blue and a white. Yep. So it's a very similar color, but to make it look even more similar, I'm just going to come in, and we might move the canvas out of the way so we do this on the main little bit here. Get these up. I might move you a little bit closer so they can see this bit. Okay, so let's just come right down another step. Oh, that's okay. Bye, Marissa. Okay, so just come in. And keep going. There, and then there's that one. So just some light tips on the flowers. And then if we come in, and then do we do it in, I think we might actually do it in this one. Or hold up. Put it a bit down there, and then let's grab out one of our fun tips from Walmart. It's paint sets. And then There we go. And then we have just a little bit of yellow outlining on our canvas. Go. And then if we come in, we do this one down here. And there we go. And then let's get the yellow around. Just think if we put the yellow around these ones as well, so then they look like they're the same. And then just coming in and getting those outlines on there. Right, there we go. So outlined in yellow, and then now what we can do is grab a little bit more of the white. Once again, come in and just lightly press it out and smooth it out on these sides. Okay, And then, perfect. It's lovely. We will glue this down in a second. I just want to do... My glue is still a little bit wet, so obviously if you're doing this at home, let it dry for a day or two before coming in and doing this bit. Okay, what I'm gonna do is they're very faint patterns. Because they're nearly the same color as the background. There we go. And then come and do. So we'll just grab a bit of this white pen. Thank you. Okay, so now just a little bit of that white really helps. And then we come in with the gel medium. Noah's in the shower. Sorry about that. Let me just come in. I'm trying to get this on without too much globbiness, but I might need a bit extra. The cursive tiles and chipboards always take a little bit more glue just because they're a bit more fragile. You want them to stick down pretty much immediately. We don't want to be playing around with this too much. We want it to get it stuck and get it on. And then there we go. Actually, it's a bit more further that way that needs to be. There we are. Okay, and then we're going to come and do So where's this sponge? Just a bit of this dark blue. Just blend him out a bit. Okay, so just a bit of dark blue down there. Just a little bit over this side now too. And then we'll come and stick down our flowers. So we're not looking for like a full coverage. Oh dear. Okay. And that's because the glue was a bit tacky there. Just going to paint over top of it and seal it up with the paint. What happens when we work wet on wet? Get that on the big jobs. Okay, there we go. Shove that in there to soak as well. Just using some of the water on our finger. Just going to come and fix up that bit there. Okay, and then just re-add in our lines there. There we go. And now we come in with our flowers. So it looks pretty good, I think. And then let's just, where did the scissors go? Here they are. Right. Grab. It's going to cut the tabs off our flowers as we come and sit them down where we want them. So like this one here. That one. I don't think we'll need too many of these. So we did a lot of work on the love hearts. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I get all the little tabby things off. Stock take is going well. It is not finished. We only have the paper left to do, and we're going to do that tomorrow afternoon. So it should be fun. We've got everything else counted, which is good because there's a lot in the store, as you know. So I get the art section, which is a little bit harder than just pure counting because some of the barcodes don't like to work on some of the products, or they're positioned a bit oddly. I don't know if any of you've noticed, but the heat tool that we sell, like the barcode is underneath the cord, so you've got to go and manually search for it. So I get those sorts. of things. And the kids get the easy ones. Like Amelia was on the weekly kits, so she gets a bit of fun stuff there, which is always good. Keeps her happy while counting. Just realised that I've spilt like a lot of glue on all of these. So I've put my arm in them as I've gone about. So let me just come in and fix this one up because it's got up there. Just put a bit of yellow over the blue. So too much, sorry. I just realised I have it really zoomed in, so you can't always see what I'm doing. Oops. Okay, so then let's just cut off the little tabby things. I'm trying to do it so it's off the canvas. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you all think? Do you reckon it needs any more? I don't actually think so. I think it looks quite good, quite beautiful that way. Okay, so let's just come in and glue these ones down. I'm going to need a bit more glue out. I'm not going to put glue on top of these because the blue is still a little bit wet, so I would leave it up a bit. As I thought it looked good for the layout. That's great, yeah. It's completely up to you if you want to leave the tabs on or off. Most of the time we take them off, but like I'd see how that would work on like a grungy layout too. But yeah, the more difficult a chipboard is to cut for resell, so like a bit more detailed or it has a few tight corners on it, the more tabs you'll find that the design will have. And that's not a problem. It's just so that it gets to you without damage, and yeah, gives you the best possible product we can, which is what we like to do, especially myself, as with us being like the designers, the manufacturers, and the business and the brand all in one. It is important to us that our product is high quality and can be used for anything realistically. So, well, for anyone, like, you know, we don't just make flowers. Well, we just don't just make cogs, you know. Well, diverse. Okay. So we've got those ones there stuck down. Yep, they're not coming off. Excellent. Now, I do think we need a tinsy bit more yellow and then we'll be done. And I actually do think it will be this fluoro yellow. And what I'm going to come and do, without putting it out of balance, I'm just going to come in and put a little bit of dots in a few areas.
When they used to use polymer on it.
And then I think we might actually be done. Yeah, I think the yellow just makes it pop a little bit more, the background bits, which is what we wanted. So, oh, we do need a little bit actually over on this one too. Just following the white around. There we go. And that there is our canvas for the night. So let me lift it up for you all. There you go. We finally got a mixed media night in. It's been a couple of weeks because I've had training and then uni and all the rest of it. But we're back. Next week is on Monday, which is actually only a couple of days away, is when we'll be back for another mixed media class. So that should be fun. We'll be back in the art journal that time around, so that should be good. And our actual art journal, not the backup one, where I forget my art journal. The backup one will be at the shop, so I know where my actual one is. I think I just need a bit of blue. Bit of blue. 1 minute. Go. There's where that other flower went. Of course. And now, just grab the water and we come in. We just remove a slight tinge of it with the water. And it just needs a bit more of the darker colour up there, but not in a bulk, like kind of like it's in the grains. So just coming in and applying it in. There we go. There's that one there. Way better. See? Woo. Just needed that. So yes, we'll be back on Monday, back in our actual art journal, and then for another full week of classes. Yay! So we'll see you all during the week. You get 1 day off from class, and then we're back with mixed media again. But thank you all for coming on an unusual night, and yeah, shall see you all next week. I hope you had fun with the canvas. Night, everyone. Bye.